Let's go from Super Sage Northcutt to Ragin' Al Iaquinta. There he is. Wow, look at this guy. There he is, realtor to the stars. Are you a real estate agent now?
I am.
This kind of came out of nowhere. I saw your Facebook page. Are you at your office right now?
I am.
Yeah. Usually you're in, your bedroom. You're kind of in this dark. It feels like an underground layer. But now here you are. You've gone pro on us.
Or the opposite.
Or the opposite. Okay. When and we're going to get to all the stuff about 205. But when did you discover that you wanted to be a real estate agent?
When I purchased my house, I had a lot of fun doing it. I liked looking at a bunch of houses. Real estate's good. Houses, money. Money is good. It's a good opportunity. Real estate is a good opportunity to make money in real estate always. So it's, I enjoyed the process of buying my own house. And then I met, through getting my real estate license, I met people that are doing real estate investments, and I hooked up with them. And I have a mentor, Nick Lamagna, who actually trains at Sarah's, and he's flipped houses all over the country. So he's been showing me a few things. I haven't really done much yet, but looking to get into the real estate industry. All
right. Well, I wish you luck with that. Now let's talk fighting here, because a couple of weeks ago, word got out that you were targeted for UFC 205 November 12th in New York City, Madison Square Garden. That's the card we all know as a Long Island boy that you wanted to fight on. And we heard that the opponent was going to be Thiago Alves. Very big fight, big name, etc. Rumblings late last week that this fight was in jeopardy. And then this morning you talked to foxsports.com and you sort of lay it all out there. And you confirmed that you are off the card. Is that true?
Pretty sure I've been pulled off the card. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
I asked for more money. I just looking at my contract and what I've been through, just a number of things. There's a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of reasons that I asked. I talked to my manager. I said, look, I really can't see possibility of fighting for what the contract here is for. There's a lot of things that have changed since I signed the contract, and for me to go in there, risk my health, risk everything that you risk when you go into a cage fight. I just said, look, I can't do it. We got to ask him for more money. We got to ask for, maybe we can negotiate something. And my manager told me there's probably not a good chance of that happening. So I said, you know what? Look, I can't do it. I can't financially. I can't fight for this purse. If I win the fight and they take taxes out and I pay my trainers, I make okay money. Okay. For fighting in a cage, I don't know about it. God forbid I don't win the fight. Taxes, trainers, all the expenses, everything that goes into a training camp. I'm basically fighting at Madison Square Garden for free. And it's just unreasonable. So I asked him to reach out to the UFC, and from what he tells me, there was no consideration of a negotiation whatsoever. So that's that.
So what did they? So your manager Dave Martin reaches out late last week and says, "Hey guys, yes, you never signed the bout agreement, right?"
Never signed it. No, it was sitting there, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, MSG, it's going to be so cool." But then I was thinking, I can't afford to do that. I can't do it. It's just, and to fight at Madison Square Garden, and you know how many people are going to know me? I fight at Madison Square Garden. Imagine you see me driving around in a freaking 2005 Nissan. Dude, you just fought at Madison Square Garden. What are you doing driving this car? It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed, so I can't. And it's not like I don't live a crazy life where I'm spending money. I have no chance. I have a modest house in Long Island. It's pretty, it's not a very expensive house, and that's basically all I spent my money on. So it's not like I haven't gone on a vacation in years. I haven't spent a lot of money on anything. So my money, I'm pretty wise with saving money. So that's not the reason. It's just, there's not enough money being paid to me to do what I'm doing, to risk my body. The last couple of years, the last year and a half, year and change, I don't know, since my last fight, since my knee, it's been stressful. It's been depressing. At points, I thought my career was over. I needed a knee surgery for a knee that was injured. Fighting in the cage. I fought for the UFC. I injured my knee, and I was basically just told, listen, we'll pay for 50, hospital special surgery, where is the best surgeon who does this surgery. It's a very expensive place, very expensive. It's the most expensive hospital, but he is the best guy. And for someone that wants to fight again, that's who you want to go to. And they said, because it's so expensive, normally it would cost $15,000. So we're going to cover $15,000 and you can cover the rest. And I said, well, I can't cover the rest. And even if I could cover the rest, I wouldn't be able to cover the 8-month rehab process where I'm sitting there not making any money. So I don't understand how they want me to do that. It's not possible. So they asked me, they wanted me to get a stem cell injection. Stem cell injections have been proven not to work in articular cartilage injuries. But their doctor wanted me to do it. So I flew to LA. I saw him. That's what he recommended. I come back. I got this stem cell injection. 6 months later, what was it? 5 months later, something like that. No results. We're back where we were, and I wasted 5 months of my life just on something that I knew it wasn't. I told them it wasn't going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work. So, I went back to the doctor and he said, let's just schedule the surgery. Put a little pressure on them. Maybe they'll pay for it. And then it was the Saturday before the surgery, and I'm sitting there and I wasn't getting a call back from the medical department. It was the weekend of a big fight. I was in the car just like pulling my hair out. Like, what am I didn't know what to do. I was so frustrated. And last minute they came through and they paid for it. So I got my knee surgery, and I was laid up for a while. It was hard. It was hard for me to make money. That's another thing. The Reebok. When I signed the contract, there was no Reebok. There was no Reebok. So I had sponsors paying me monthly. I was making money. And the Reebok thing comes, boom, all the sponsors stop paying me monthly. So here I am making this money. I have this surgery, and all the money stops. I had to, instead of worrying about focusing on my knee and focusing about getting back into the cage, I'm focusing on, oh man, am I going to be able to hold pads for these guys in 3 months so that I can make a living, so I can pay my mortgage, so I can live. It's funny how things change when a different perspective I had through this whole thing. So it was frustrating. And that just changed my outlook on everything. God forbid I take this fight, $26,000. I win, I lose, whatever happens. I get hurt somehow. I got nothing to, I'd have to take off time from my clients. I'd have to take off time with the real estate that I'm learning. I kind of got myself in a groove to stop that, to take a fight where I could be, risking everything. It's just not worth it for the amount of money that they're going to pay me. It would be great. Be great to say that I fought at the, Madison Square Garden, but, after a while, it's, you're just saying that. There's nothing to show for it. And that's basically why I took this. That's why I took the stance that I took. And, it's a tough one because I'd love to. There's nothing I'd love to do more than to fight at Madison Square Garden. But just, I feel like to not even have a negotiation, and to when we the things I heard Joe Silva say to my manager about me when he asked just to negotiate, F him, F this, who is he to put a price tag on what my life is worth, on what my knee is worth? In a couple of years, I've had 2 knee surgeries already. I may have to have another one after 9 more fights. Who knows? I might have to have another one. Am I going to be able to walk? Am I going to be able to live an enjoyable life? And for him to say "F you, F this," I'll cut him. I'll do it. I don't know. Is he retired? I don't know exactly what he said. It was through my manager, but I heard it wasn't. Maybe we didn't see eye to eye, and maybe I'm not worth what I am. But for you to F this, F that, you've never stepped in the cage. You don't know what my body feels like after a fight, what my body will feel like down the line. So for a company like the UFC to talk to me like that, to talk about me like that, it just doesn't sit right with me. And then, I think it could have been resolved a whole different way. I think we could have gone about it a whole different way. I don't know. Just frustrating. It's frustrating that, under the situations they are, that now it's at Madison Square Garden and now it's so big, and but it's something that I got to do this, because I go to a fight and everyone sits around the table. We'll go out to dinner with a bunch of fighters or whatever, and everyone sits around the table and everyone's saying, "Oh man, it's just." Talking about the Reebok deal, talking about how they're losing money, how it's tough to get by, flying people to get a good training camp. You got to bring people in. You got to pay. You got to do this and that. I flew people in for Gilbert Melendez fight. He got pulled for what he got pulled for, and and then they don't give me any of my show money at 9 days before the fight. Some guys get show money, some don't. For some reason, I didn't. So it's tough. It's tough.
If the contract remains the way it currently is, are you prepared to not fight again?
Yeah. Unless I become like you know what? No. And even if I did become, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
So right now you're in limbo, or in your mind you're off the card and you're just going to sit back and kind of see what happens?
If anyone needs to buy, sell, or rent property, I'm the guy you talk to. That's what I'll be doing, I guess.
What do you think it will feel like on November 12th when that event happens? Will you be able to watch it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll be cool. I'll be kind of wishing I was there, I'm sure, fighting. Yeah. But I'll be proud of myself that I took this stance, and that, I'm not just going to get walked all over. I definitely, it'll be mixed emotions, but it'll be what it is, man. I'll be proud. I'll be proud of myself, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are supporting me already. I've seen support on Twitter, and I know there's fighters that wish they could do what I'm doing. They wish they could. They wish they had the balls to do it. They wish they could say, you know what, I'm not fighting. I'm not on the card. It would be everyone. It was a lot of people, oh, you're on the MSG card. And in my back of my mind, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. But you know what? Is it really worth it? And I don't think it is. And the other thing is, a bonus, winning a bonus. I can't win a bonus. So I kind of factored that into the whole.
Why can't you win a bonus?
They took the bonuses away from me. Before the Gilbert Melendez, it was supposed to be Bobby Green. I was supposed to fight Bobby Green.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 or 6 weeks before that fight. There was a fighter summit in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And, I'm just getting into training camp. I'm just starting to get really, start pushing hard. And I got sick. I was at Wadman's fight. He had a fight somewhere before that. And I come home from Vegas, and I was, I was feeling sluggish. I wasn't feeling good. My immune system was run down. So I called the UFC and I said, would it be? I told them. I said, I got this fight coming up. I don't feel good. I'm sick. Can I take? Is it cool if I stay home and train? I'm not getting paid to go out there. In my head, I'm thinking I'm not getting paid to go out there. I'm going to get paid to fight. You would think they would want me healthy and good to fight, So they said, you know what? We do these summits every couple of months. We'll get you. You come. Stay home. You come to the next one. So I was like, all right, cool. A couple of days later, I posted a picture of myself. I just posted a picture that I was at the beach. And now the beach is 5 minutes. It's my backyard. I was in my backyard, and I get a text message from I didn't know who James Kimball was at the time, but he texted me and he's like, "I thought you were sick. What are you doing at the beach?" So I'm like, dude, what is it? I felt like I was cutting class, you know? I'm like, listen, I got to fight in 5 weeks. I'm relaxing in between training sessions. There's a guy trying to kill me in 6 weeks. Relax. I'll go to the next one. So I get a call the next day from Reed Harris and Dave Scholler, and they're like, well, you know, you can't win a bonus. This is your punishment. You can't win a bonus. Actually, no, they emailed my manager first and said they can't win a bonus. I forget how it happened, but then my manager got a conference call with the three of us. I explained everything. I said, listen, I got a fight coming up. I was sick. I went to the beach in between training sessions. That's not going to make me more. It's not going to, you know, what does that have to do with anything? And you said that they do these every month. I could go to the next one. You know what? I don't understand what the big problem is. And at the end of the phone call, I just, you know, I laid it all out there, and they were just like, you know what? Nah, punishment still stands. 3 fights, you can't win a bonus. 3 fights, no bonus. So I'm like, 3 fights, no bonus. That could be, no, it's potentially $150 or even more $1,000. And you're going to take that away from me because I missed. They said it was, you know, a 3-strike rule. I guess there's a 3-strike rule. Basically, you know, there was no due. I didn't go before a committee. I didn't get to explain my case. It was just like, you know, you got loud with James Kimball because he reprimanded you about going to the beach. So now you can't win a bonus for 3 fights. And that really stuck with me. It was just that was, I don't know, that they could do that really was just, it I don't know, disgusted me. It was like, why do I even want to do this? Do I even really want to do this anymore? You know?
As you know, Al, the topic of a fighters association is very much in the news. Do you feel like if that was in place, something like that in place, that would have helped you in these cases where there's someone supporting you, there's some kind of backing here, and there's sort of an agreement in place that, yeah, okay, you could have known about a 3-strike rule, you could have known about this, you know, not just some sort of arbitrary punishment that comes out of nowhere.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, there's got to be some representation for the fighters. There's really not, you know, so what happened, you know, if they don't like you, they can do whatever. Yeah. So,
would you like to get released?
No, I love fighting for the UFC. I love fighting for, you know, it's the best organization in the world with the best fighters in the world. There's nothing I enjoyed more than fighting. You know, when I hurt my knee and I thought my career was over, I was, you know, that was a hard time for me because I love. There's nothing I like more than fighting, but there's nothing I like more than standing up for what I think's right.
Yeah.
And what I think I've earned. You know, I've earned more than that. I've earned more than just. I've earned a discussion. You know, I've earned the discussion. I've earned the right to ask and not be cursed at and, you know, put down. You know, I feel like them paying for my knee surgery was almost like a gift. Like they went above and beyond to pay for it. Where it's like I hurt myself fighting for not a lot of money. You know, it's like I was fighting back then. I fought on the Ultimate Fighter to get to get to the UFC where you're gonna make all that money in the UFC, and then I get to the UFC and it's like I'm still fighting to get that next contract, where that next contract is awesome. And then, you know, I beat Ross Pearson. I beat Joe Lazone, who are, you know, tough. These guys are tough guys, you know, these are big name guys in the UFC. And I'm like, wow, I made it. I did it. We're going to renegotiate and I'm going to make money. And then they come back with what they came back with. And I was like, oh shit, that's nowhere near what I thought I was going to be making. And it's the same thing. It's, you know what? You should just sign the contract, stay in the good graces of the UFC, and win 3 more fights, or win 4 more fights, and then you sign the big one. But it's like, in a perfect world, I would have done that, I would have done that 2 years ago.
Right.
But I got injured. And before that, too. So you're not getting paid on what you do. You're getting paid on what you can do. And for a lot of guys, that doesn't happen. They never reach that point. I still plan on reaching that point. I will reach that point. I was minus 250. I saw online against Thiago Alves. That's a fight that can put me right up there in title contention. I freaking whoop on this guy in my backyard in New York City. His freaking arms look like popsicle sticks at 155. I'm freaking boom. I'm right there. But I'm not going to do it for freaking pennies. I'm going to be famous in New York, and I'm going to be driving around in a freaking '05 Nissan. What are you, nuts? I got pulled over. I pulled over to text the other day. I'm texting someone, so I pulled my car over in Wanto, and I guess some people know me from the fight. They watch the fights and stuff, and the pizza guy was driving by, and the pizza guy pulls down. And he goes, "Yo, Iaquinta, what's up, bro?" I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He goes, "Yo, you're an animal." He goes, "Dude, you should be driving a nicer car than this, man. You should be driving you're hard, man. You got hard." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, thanks, man. All right. All right. Like, what the hell do you say to that?
Sure.
So I don't know, man.
Are you hoping that coming out and talking about this today will get them to rethink their stance and offer you a better deal? Like, in your mind, is the dream dead for now? MSG returning in November, coming back from the surgery. Are you hopeful that this will be the end result after today's discussion? You coming out and talking about all of this.
I'm not even really even thinking about that.
Okay.
I don't see from where, I just don't even care anymore. I thought like when they weren't going to pay for my surgery, I thought my career was over. So I made terms with that at that time, So I'm like a guy, I just really don't even care. I'd love it. I could take it or leave it. It is what it is. I'd love to fight in Madison Square Garden. It doesn't seem like they want anyone to negotiate at all. So I'm not going to sit and cry about it. I'm going to move on with my life. If there is a negotiation, that's great. We can talk about it, but I'm not banking on that by no means. So
I don't know how much you pay attention to this stuff, and I'm not putting anyone else on blast, but it does feel like the fighters, not really in unison, in independently, are sort of striking and coming to the realization after the sale of the UFC that, wait a second, we are very much underpaid here and we deserve to make more, especially when you hear how much other people in the company have made as a result of the sale. Do you feel like that's happening? Do you talk to your peers? And are you all starting to realize that for the last few years, you probably should have been making a hell of a lot more than you were making?
Nah, everyone knew that. Everyone knew it. We used to sit around, like I said, I'd go to the fights, and everyone sits around the table, and it's just like depressing. It's like blah blah blah. Like, oh, I'm not getting this. Oh, I can't believe now we're not getting sponsorships. I can't believe now they're gonna do this to me. I can't believe I'm not. And no one does anything.
Yeah.
So nothing's gonna get done. I don't know.
So it's time to do something.
Everyone just takes what they can get, and hopes that they'll win 3 fights. Hopes they'll knock everyone out, hopes that the UFC is going to like them, and then they'll be able to sign that new contract. And when they sign the new contract, it's going to be all good. But that very, very rarely happens to a lot of guys. And there's a lot of guys who are very beat up. They're struggling, and it's tough. So. I understand, a lot of people, they have families, they have kids, and they have to fight for the money, but I don't have to do that. I don't have any of those things right now. So, honestly, I'd be happy just to, I'm cool with just like moving to by the beach and just chilling on the side. That's all I need. I don't need a lot. I don't have the kids, I don't have the family, so I can afford to take this stance. So that's what it is, you know?
And to sort of put a bow on everything here, I kind of was joking a bit about the real estate stuff, but I do 100%, hope that it works out and support you. That's the reason why you're doing this, right? I mean, you'd rather be in the gym, you'd rather be preparing for big prize fights. You don't necessarily want to be a real estate agent at this juncture of your career, but is it fair to say that you feel like you have to in order to support yourself?
Oh no, for sure. Yeah. I got to think, when I went back to school, right after I had the knee surgery, I was like, it was, what is it, the fall, spring semester. I went back to freaking college, and that was just not for me. I was thinking I got to figure out something, because this fighting, it's good, but it doesn't seem like the UFC likes me very much. It doesn't seem like, and I'm not one to just cower down and be like, please just give me scraps, So I got to figure out something, I got to figure out what I like to do. And real estate's one of the things that you can do it's a lifelong thing. There's, 75, 80-year-old people that are selling real estate. So one day I'll be an old 75-year-old man hobbling around on freaking half a knee that I have, and whatever. I'll be doing that. So
I hope it doesn't it end like this. I mean, you're too good, you're too young, too much potential as far as fighting is concerned for it to end like this. I sincerely hope that something is resolved and that you get what you are owed and what you deserve, and that we will see you in New York. I don't think it's going to be the same without you, my man. It really won't. We need to have Raging Al there. It won't be the same. It will be a sad day. This is kind of...
Yeah, this is going to get off freaking easy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not. There's still time to spare. Will you? One last thing. Will you guys reach out anymore, or is it kind of? Are you just gonna move along, and if they want to reach out, they can reach out? It's done, right?
Yeah. I mean,
all right.
We're gonna reach out and get the F-bombs thrown at us. I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Well, I respect you, man. Much respect.
Thanks, Harry.
Good luck to you, and you always have a home here. Yeah. Give props to those who are supporting you.
That's the one right there. American Ethanol. # more than a fighter. They stuck by me a lot. So shout out to them.
All right. All the best to you, Alan. And please keep us posted on this. If something changes for the better, and hopefully not for the worse, but please do keep us posted. And where can people reach you if they want to buy real estate from you? Give us a plug.
You can call me. My number. No, I'm kidding. Facebook.com/Raging Al Realty.
There it is. Or
hit me up on Twitter at Iaquinta.
All right. All the best to you, Al. Thank you very much for coming on today.
Thanks, Ariel. Appreciate it, man.
There he is, Al Iaquinta, still very much one of the very best fighters in the UFC's lightweight division, one of the very best fighters in the UFC. A sad sight to see him sitting there when he should be training, when he should be preparing for the opportunity of a lifetime. Man, it does certainly feel like the winds are changing here, and a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and a lot of fighters coming to the realization that, hey, we should probably be getting a lot more, especially coming off the sale of the UFC. And it appears as though Al Iaquinta had that epiphany, and hopefully cooler heads prevail and that they can figure this out, because it will not be the same without him on November 12th. I can assure you of that.